Welcome to the space where we inspire you, motivate you, empower you, and talk about life issues with you. With me today is my loving, fun husband, Mr. Lama Emmanuel. Thank you so much for joining me today for the show.
The pleasure is mine. So yeah, I'm glad to be here, really. I was just teasing the other time how that was my very first time to be on camera. And the lights and the magic that is done here was a bit too much. But I survived. So I came back. So that means I didn't die on set.
And from the feedback, our friend said you come from the north or from
Really?
Sudan. Yeah.
Wow, I think we need a makeup artist.
Please speak in Ruchiga so that people can know you come from Kabade.
Ndaruga kabare, bugonji, nigyo muchiga kashushu.
I am sure people are going to be surprised that you actually speak Ruchiga. So thank you so much for joining me today for the show. And today we are going to talk about how can you incorporate fun in marriage, in a relationship on a day-to-day basis. And like we usually say, this is from our experience, the lessons we have learned, the things we have tried out and have helped us improve our relationship on a daily basis. There are days we will forget them, but I can assure you the days we do them, the moments we practice these, they actually take our relationship to the next level. Like, sweet! Remember that thing, yeah. So, over to you, my love.
Maybe before answering the why the fun in the marriage, let's rather how to incorporate fun in the marriage, like you said. I think let's backtrack a bit and talk about the why. Maybe it will bring the how in good perspective. First of all, I think like we're having this conversation. If people notice, if they have been following us, it's we're saying the three, but then they're going to end up being the four, because the fun is the invisible F. It's like the glue of the faith, the family and the finances. So it's sneaked in, it's subtle, but then it's that glue. Why? There's this common joke of when you're in jam and two people are driving, a lady and a man, you can always tell if it's a side chick or
if it's the real home wife.
If it's the home wife. The idea being, if it's a side chick, it will be
there is light in
there is energy. But if it's the husband and the wife, the idea is the guy is stiff on the steering.
He's remembering that they asked him for salt in the morning.
Yeah. So there's this whole aura and impression of marriage being that place where the fun ceases. The sleeves are hung, now it's time for
Actually, what happens is that people tend to think that we are in the marriage just for having children. Actually, some men or some women will say, okay, I am here, I'm not going anywhere, I'm your wife. So you find that people are just in marriage because it is it's a name, it's a brand. I am married, I'm Mrs. Lama, and that is what is important. But like I usually say, for me, marriage is a place where I need to grow old with this man. When at 50, you can look at me and you're like, wow. Like there are places I go to and I tell them I am making 40 and they're like, what? So I want to be at 60 and I'm still vibrant, I'm still energetic, I'm still loving, I'm still generous. But that cannot happen without bringing the fun in a marriage. And that's why I think we are going to talk about it. What are those things, the basic things you need to do to have fun in marriage? Yes, so
So I hope you've noted that the fun is very possible in marriage. We are here, we don't have it figured out, but as we figure it out, we are having the fun all through. Yes, we fight, not literally, really.
Yeah.
We,
when
you
a
know.
Mchiga man says you fight,
Yeah,
you
I have to put a disclaimer on that. I don't mean anyhow. So
I
the
think,
how.
I think you start us off. What are those things? You might not list all of them. What are those things we've done in our marriage? Because I usually do that talking. He actually calls me the spokesperson. So today you're going to do more talking. What are some of those things we've done so that people don't think it's just me talking, but we are in this together? What are the things we have done in our marriage for the last 10 years? By the way, we are making 10 years on 26th Feb of this year. So that is a milestone. It's God's grace and we thank God for it. So you can congratulate us in your special way. Flowers. I don't do flowers. So yeah, so and you're the lucky one, but we want cake. So what are those things we have done to have fun, to maintain some fun, or to have fun in our marriage?
I'll begin from what is the basic, so that first of all I demystify, the fun being entirely
Dubai trip.
Yeah, entirely based on. So I'll begin from, it's the Sunday afternoon Baha'i picnic things. What did we do? We would basically go to church, then as a family, grab some nice takeaway along the way.
It's a no cooking day.
Yeah, it's, we try to say, Sunday, let's have some bit of us time as a family, but also as a couple. So, but also in times when things would be tight, that we can't afford the Cafe Javas, there's that Hawaiian think pizza that is really nice, and then they have this fruit platter.
Anyway, you're advertising for cafe.
Yeah, they do a good job. Where there's that fruit platter, then they put in the yogurt, the nuts, and the honey, and but it comes at a price. So in times when we can't afford that, we grab a takeaway from church and then go to Baha'i. It's free entry, and then set up around something to sit on, have this meal, then the kids can run around in nice beautiful scenery, air, and then as they are running around having the fun, we also get time to talk and have this conversation. So for me, it's those simple moments why they demystify that, when the cash is hard coming in, then the rhythm stop, which brings me to the whole what we call rhythms idea. Then I think the second bit is also, though I think we've lagged behind a bit for so many other reasons, we had committed to have that one time in a year where we do a getaway. We go on a retreat. We had started, I think we started off with Pumura, beautiful, nice, quiet place.
For 4 days.
Which it's we are lagging behind that. I need to step up my game in that field. So that's the second one. But also even just catching up with a movie.
Tuesday movie nights. We do Tuesday movie nights.
Movie nights. That time and space to watch a movie we love together, and basically out of home, because we used to do so much series together and we had to cut them out for whatever reason. But so yeah, those are, I think, are like the core ones we've done, which sort of like defines what we are talking about, what we call rhythms. Those things that we structure to doing in marriage that are very intentional, where we steer ourselves away from the hustle and bustles of life, where it's just the two of us, time together. So, but being as intentional as saying, okay, I know of some couples who do it weekly, every other week, they have a meal out, they have a dinner together, they have time together. For us, I think our target was yes, weekly, but we said, okay, when we realized these things, we said, okay, let's begin off in a more monthly thing, whereby every other month, let's eat a nice meal out of home, away from the kids, away from, there's so many issues around us that we're dealing, and let's talk. Let's just talk about life, sort of like a mini evaluation.
But I think the other thing that we've done, some days I will let him down, is taking walks together. You have a lot of conversation when you take walks together. You will just move, you're going to Bukoto. By the time you come back, you've solved like 10 problems that you've been having in the relationship. So taking walks together. And then the other thing, of course, the fun bit of it, any marriage would want to have a fun sex life. So you find that instead of people thinking that sex should be for the night, you actually become spontaneous in in having sex. I remember the first time we had sex in the morning, I was like, what? You're not going to work? Yeah, you know? So you have spontaneous sex. It doesn't have to be night. No, come back lunchtime, have some. Say, can we have lunch at home? Can we like make it spontaneous? I believe for me it brings some fun. It's not written anywhere, but the days you have the spontaneous sex, you actually find that someone goes out and comes back with so much energy. I remember that. Yes, it happens too much. So I remember the days I would actually prepare a nice meal and say, oh, the kids are in bed. So every time he would say, by then he was working at night, and then he would say, okay, I'm coming for dinner. So he knows something is going down. And then he would drive back, go, and he's energetic, he's happy. So there are those things we can do to actually bring fun in the marriage.
Yeah, so basically rhythms, the whole idea of what fun things can we figure out as a couple, can you figure out as a couple to sort of like shared interests.
Yeah, shared interests.
But also merged interest, meaning what? Whereby for you, your time is, for example, movies. You know, your time is that, you know, then I can catch up a movie with you together.
Once in a while, yeah.
Like you are saying, I love walking. So that time when, you know, you might not necessarily enjoy walking, but you know,
I do it for the team.
Yeah, but we always it always ends up having been fun.
Yeah.
Why? Because there was intentionality in trying to, because she knows these are rhythms that are going to bring some fun in the marriage.
But also, I will know that is something you enjoy.
Yeah.
So by taking a walk, sometimes I think one of the things that really kills relationships is because we are selfish. You want to do what is good for you. So sometimes in a relationship, we have to sacrifice and do something for the other.
Yeah.
So if I'm taking a walk, it's not because I enjoy it. Like, thank God my husband doesn't watch football. But if he watched football, I would actually sit with him, watch some football, not because I'm even watching, but because I just want to offer the support. If he feels like touching someone, I should be the person to touch, instead of letting him watch with someone, and then before you know it, they are getting too close. So for me, I think that is really very important in any relationship.
But also, it's because I don't want someone out there thinking, then that is intrusion. That's where you enter a man's space and ruin his fun. I don't think we're talking about. We're talking about sitting together as a couple, coming up with periodic and scheduled things that we do that help bring the fun in the marriage. It doesn't mean that I don't have my me time. Yeah. I have my quiet time. Whether that my quiet time is thinking, literally, where I am alone and thinking and walking around and praying.
His quiet time is walking and reading and praying.
You know, so
yeah,
things that we intentionally do as a couple that bring in the fun. We've given our examples: small picnics, eating out, watch a movie, and all these other things.
Doing things together.
Doing things together. Exactly. That's a beautiful point. Where you like you've said, even beyond the fun, beyond the fun bit of the sense, whereby I'm here. This is basically her beautiful idea. But in going out of my way to do support her, it ends up being fun. We're having a good time here.
Because and I want couples to understand this. I've counseled couples where you find, for example, one person does work that the other person doesn't understand. Yeah. So you find, for example, you're a musician, but because your wife or your husband hasn't been in a space where you're presenting,
they get to know what
then
you do.
They get to think, why would you go and spend 3 hours? For example, if I didn't come with you and I tell you I'm in a man's house shooting, you would wonder, 4 hours, you came at 2 and you're still somewhere in a man's place, you wouldn't understand it. But the fact that then you come here to support me, there are no suspicions.
Builds trust, builds confidence.
Yes.
And, it ends up being a win-win. So I don't want us to lose the point of the idea that we are not giving out things for people to do,
to copy
and paste. No, we are saying, be intentional in finding out what works for you, and then keep working on them. Yeah. And this, the beginning, I can tell you, is very awkward. It's one of the areas where we are really have to really build up. It's one of those things that we know it's an area of we have to be more consistent as compared to other areas. It's fun is something that we are truly working on, because for ourselves, we've also just discovered the importance of it. Yeah. So it's the realization that they are important and they are unique for each couple, and they take time. Rhythms take time to eventually become habits. That's the beauty of it. When you keep working on it, it gets to be ultimately enjoyable, and it gets to become a habit, and then it gets to be fun. Though I must, if you're just beginning this, let me just go ahead of you and put a little bridge for you. The idea of rhythms and fun, honestly, for any lady, not unique to my wife only. I think it's like someone put it so well that because fun brings the affection. Yes. Affection is one of the core needs of any woman. If you've done research, and the definition of affection can be relative for different people, but bringing the fun and being affectionate to a woman is like hitting a moving target, whereby today this is working, then the other day then you stick on that, and you realize your vibe is so it's just remember you're hitting a moving target where you have to be that creative. Then he is the killer.
You have to be creative and understanding of my emotions.
Exactly.
Because I think women, we are a bit seasonal. Yeah. Where a dinner used to work for me, I get to a point where taking me out for dinner doesn't work for me.
But here's the beauty or the killer bit of it. It's not in what you nail. Okay? The idea is she wants to see me trying. Yeah. Okay, she wants me.
Put in an effort.
She wants to see the effort as opposed to the activity. Yeah. Am I making sense?
Yes.
So that's what I call a moving target. You're trying to hit the target. Tomorrow it's here and it's gone. But the beauty is the joy comes from this whole process of going out of the way, trying to figure her out. Yeah. That's the affection. That's the beauty of that. I think we've
So I think the other thing I wanted to add on is that we love dancing, and so on some days he will actually play music, and don't forget that we've met on a dancing floor.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, we met at church, but then the first date was dancing.
Somewhere else, not.
Yeah. You can even see the hands, by the way. He loves dancing. So he puts on the music and then we dance, we hold each other, whether it's a bedroom or
Squeeze.
some days. Squeeze. Can you imagine two people in their bedroom doing squeeze music? Squeeze music. So on some days we will dance with the kids and we will have fun. And I want to say again that doesn't mean we will not get challenges.
Yeah, we
will get the challenges.
Some cloudy days, very cloudy sometimes.
But how we deal with them, it's different when we have been having fun, enjoying it. We just know this is a season that will pass. So thank you so much for joining us for this conversation. Leave any comments you have, leave any topics you would want us to talk about. But remember, any relationship, and I want to warn people who go out of their way to work every day, you set targets to achieve every month, set targets to achieve in a marriage. Invest in your relationship. Don't assume that God will work on that relationship for you. So God bless you. Until next time, we love you.